All right, boys. It is Wednesday, right before Thursday happens, when we're going to be kicking off this week's games. A little bit of a confusion this last week. I've only heard from one person on the WhatsApp about the changes to the week. Thank you, Will, for bringing up to everybody that I had made those changes on the days that the waiver claims were done on Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, I think it was, last year, based on the fact that we got feedback from people saying that they didn't like the fact that if they had to pick up somebody on a Monday, if they put the claim in on Sunday, they weren't able to process it till Tuesday, so they had a person that was out and they couldn't play a player. So I made those changes last year. There was a couple things that were brought up on the WhatsApp, but I didn't really see anything go any different direction or whatever. So if you're not talking on the WhatsApp and you're not discussing things, we can't move anything. So go in there and make some comments. But we're getting into week 2 now, and I don't know if it's necessarily fair to the people that played last week to not change it outside of what it is already. So we might just keep it the same, but we might put it up for vote or something to bring up at the end of the season to discuss what we can do for next year, along with any other changes that we do. We're pretty open and pretty a fluid conversing league. I just feel like it's just been a little choppy at times over the past month or two around rules and stuff like that or whatever. So I just want to make sure that we are communicating and staying on top of it and being good with each other. So let's go through the review for this week. It's pretty self-explanatory to know that the blowout of the week this week was the one and only, and this was a pretty big, monumentous blowout, although a bye week, who's Kevin, didn't necessarily score a lot of points to be able to beat Johnny Utah's. But the margin of difference and the margin of squashing and pretty much penis squishing and smashing was around 50.02 points difference between the two. Looking at Johnny Utah's relying on Eli Manning to be able to do anything for him. Des Bryant, 4 points. Allen Robinson out, gone. Le'Veon Bell with 10 points. And going against a Cleveland defense is pretty strange, although Antonio Brown pretty much took over the whole entire show for that one. And then the rest of your team is pretty much hogwash on that one. All single digits except for Le'Veon Bell, who had 10, and Manning, who had 12. Everybody else was single digits. On the other side of the coin, Ezekiel Elliott, great pickup. Looks like he's going to be around for the season, so that might be a great win for you, Kevin, on that one. So Ezekiel Elliott and then Lamar Miller, good point totals. Marcus Mariota seems like he's going to be a good fantasy football catch for you on that one. And then Carolina was 16 points on that one. So 50.02 points in the books, and you could definitely take that one to the bank as being the blowout of the week, folks. The blowout of the week. So blowout for Kevin over Maddie. Johnny Utah's, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, that might be one of the lowest point scored weeks that I've ever seen in our fantasy football league. So you might get an award for that. I might have to make something up or maybe post something on the Facebook page just for the fact that you only scored 50.57 points, which is probably bare minimum. So good job. Good job, Matt. Good job, buddy. All right, so next one I got here to be able to rank and be able to show what I think for this week is, I think the game of the week. The game of the week is between Jerry's Kids and Boat Drinks. You know, there was a couple things that went into play here. A lot of people were favoring Boat Drinks to take it all outside of maybe even Marty having a good run with his. But Boat Drinks versus Jerry's Kids, congratulations, Rick, on the win. You won by 0.35 points. Great victory to eke out a win, even though Boat Drinks was favored by over 12 points in the overall standings. Couple big factors for this, of course, is around the fact that Tom Brady pretty much crapped an egg in his game, so 5 points total for him. And then Bryant and Thomas getting you single digits, and then even with you scoring with Hunt running back at Kansas City, 44.80 points, you still weren't able to pull this game out. Now, you would have beat pretty much every other team in the league this week, both Frank and Dan and the Brain Trust. but I think he was just too formidable of an opponent, with Matthew Stafford ringing in at 39 points for Jerry's Kids, and then double digits for Allen, Freeman, Lynch, Blunt, Suckup, and a couple of people going in the single digits. So really what killed you, to be honest with you, you had 28 points for your Los Angeles defense, and you still were able to lose the game with only 5 points from Tom Brady. He is what killed you this week. Frank, you guys would have destroyed it, I think. So game of the week right there. Game of the week was underdog defeating a favored person in the league to win it all this year, actually, with Frank coming out with the keep 'em pick with Tom Brady, and then coming around and being able to do it. What really hurts you, dude, really hurts you is David Johnson. That's a pick that's going to really kind of kill you this season. So, if you can have Hunt do what he did last week in Kansas City, that could be a pretty good backup to that one to be able to get that one and just knock it right out of the box. Okay. So first week also we had the commissioner going up against the VP. It was a good matchup. A couple eggs laid here for me was around the fact that Adam Vinatieri, old trusty, kicking things to the upright, had -4 points for me this week. And great game by Jonathan Stewart. Great game by Shady McCoy. And then Drew Brees all had 20 points, over 20 points. And I still couldn't pull out a victory because T.Y. Hilton had 4. Kelsey pretty much crapped the bed, and Adam Vinatieri gave me -4. And then I was almost there. I had about a 0.6 difference, or I had about a certain amount. I think it was 16-point difference. And then the only person that Drew Brees throws a touchdown to had to be Coby Fleener, and the VP Buttface pretty much had Coby Fleener going in that game, and he was able to pull out and eke out the victory by a mere 5 points or 6 points that he had total. That was on there. So great job, VP. I don't know why you're going with Old Man Gore. And then Decker, Jordy Nelson got you a good game. West from Baltimore had a pretty good game with almost 20 points. And then DeAndre Hopkins, which is a pretty good pick there too. So, and then Philadelphia. Who the hell would have thought Philadelphia would have got you 21 points in the week? So I stunk. I didn't do very well, and big upset because I was favored by 12 points on this one. So how about the worlds colliding here? My next review is going to be the worlds colliding with the fact that I'm the champion. I'm the reigning champion. I'm going to be putting my trophy back here so that you guys can see it during my weekly recaps. And then on the other hand, you've got somebody by the fact of do your job. I wasn't going to really talk about it very much because it wasn't really worthy of talking about very much. But do your job coming in at 128.54 points on the week. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was tops of the week. He was the top score getter for this entire week, for being the pig last year to being 128.54 points this week. Great job, Mr. Brown. 24 points for David Carr. 24 points for Ty Montgomery. Then you had double digits for Crabtree, Howard, James White, Bryant from Atlanta, the kicker. And then Howard, that could be bad, though. I heard he was downgraded to questionable on there. So, watch out for those running backs that you got going on. So enjoy your moment. Enjoy your time to be able to do there. I know Turd was favored in this one by 3 points and lost by 32 points. So Perkins didn't do anything for you, Turd. I'm sorry, man. Cousins didn't do anything for you. Yeah, this was a pretty bad game all the way around for you, outside of maybe Denver running back Anderson, 15.4 points. But, yeah, man, this was a pretty much a poop fest for you. You pretty much crapped the bed on that one that was there. And then a couple other to round out would be Elevator Knockout versus Carolina. With a point differential, Carolina pulling out and eking the victory to have the number 2 scoring team in the league this year so far after week 1 with 128.49, beating out Elevator Knockout by 19 points. And then let's see here if I've got any other ones that I took some notes on here. Sexy Sandwich starting off strong with the fourth highest. Jerry's Kids beating out Boat Drinks was the third highest. And what's funny about that is that, I'm sorry. Actually, Jerry's Kids looks, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Boat Drinks is 125.54. They actually had the fourth highest score, and Boat Drinks lost. I'm sorry, dude. Couldn't happen to a better person. So, Sexy Sandwich with the fourth best score in the league this week, beating out Big Blue Wrecking Crew to put Sexy in the fourth place finish with Jonathan and his Big Blue Wrecking Crew. It does look like Sexy was favored by 0.8 points and pulled out the victory as predicted as being the winner of that week that was there. So, and on top of that, let's see, I think the last one I got to go over is Marty Ice Pops, who was favored to be dominant this season with an A-plus grade from Yahoo Fantasy Sport rating and this, that, and the other. And he was actually favored to have the most highest points this week, but came in at 110, but still a victory is a victory. He beat out his kid. So, Eric, I'm sorry that you had to take the lashing and the whip from your dad. Pretty good scores over here from Marty. Starting Mike Gillisley was a pretty great one that started off the week with 27.75. Then Matt Ryan with 23 points, and then Tyreek Hill 21 points, but that could be bad with that injury on Hills, and all the rest of it was all pretty much meh. Mediocre. New England defense being poor and porous with -1. But Eric, that was a pretty bad showing this week. 76.37. I think you were number 2 from the bottom on scoring points wise in this league this week. So you got to make a comeback this week. I'm sure Cam Newton will get you some points. Nothing from Ingram and Procise was pretty bad. So yeah, so that's pretty much what I got so far for this week. So game of the week, of course, is Jerry's Kids. Bravo, sir, beating out Boat Drinks. Blowout of the week, of course, was Johnny Utah's scoring the lowest points out of everybody at 50 whatever points to bye week. Kevin, great start. You're coming against me this week. You're actually favored this week against me. So I'm hoping that Marcus Mariota trips over his foot, sprains his ankle, and he's out for the entire game, and then that'll go ahead and just hopefully will seal up the victory for me, unless you have a sink that Drew Brees can throw to. But other than that, guys, good week, good first week. It was fun to watch overall, and I think that you guys probably enjoyed it as much as I did. But we'll go ahead and end this weekly recap here with reminders of make sure you go in and you make your weekly picks for the games tomorrow, before tomorrow's game, Thursday. Go in and make your changes too, pick up anything, make your waiver claims, those kind of things, or anything like that. Should be good to go. Actual waiver claims probably tonight, because Wednesday will be a date that the waiver claims will process if you bid. So get your bids in tonight if you have to get somebody for tomorrow. And then kind of go through. So remember, right now, as it stands, because we haven't made any changes to move it, it's Sundays, it's Mondays, it's Wednesdays, and it's Saturdays for days that waiver claims will place. So if you bid on your player, it's going to process through at the end of the night if you win the bid on that player. Okay? So bid high if you want somebody, and then kind of move on from there. So sorry for any confusion that it might have caused this week. If you have any questions or you want to go ahead and bitch about the commissioner, then you can do that too. I'm all right with that because I got thick skin and I can take it. But on the same token, we did it last year and it was changed probably about halfway through the season, or maybe 3/4 of the way through the season, because people were complaining about not being able to move it. So we did. We thought it was going to be just a basic gist of a change. So hopefully it didn't affect too many people this last week, but that's what we're going to do moving forward, I think, unless we get some more conversation on the WhatsApp. If you've got things you want to bring up on the WhatsApp, bring it up, talk about it, get it out there. We'll discuss it as a league, and we'll see what we can go ahead and do. Okay. It is week 1, and I'm hoping around week 8 or so, we can kind of throw down somewhere and watch a game and invite everybody to the games, or, at a bar or something like that, to be able to watch some of the games. Hopefully we'll have a good showing. We'll kind of put some more words out about that. I know I was talking to Aaron and some other folks about it during the draft, to be able to have some fun this season, to be able to do like a mid-season get-together for us to be able to watch these games. All right? Have a great day, everybody, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.